They wonder if I fly. I don't never do it cause I'm grinding.
Oh, yes, indeed. You already know it is another great morning on the Morning Machine, the machine that makes your mornings move. The rising is so grand this morning, and I'll tell you how grand it is in a minute when you hear the guests that I have in the seat today. But you already know, thank you for making the machine a part of your daily morning routine, and part of that morning routine means great stories of independent artists. But this is not just an ordinary independent artist here, right? She has been on the Morning Machine before. She actually was one of our first guests on the Morning Machine way back when. Our first week, April 27th, 2020. Guess who was on? She was on. Fast forward a little bit to June 26, 2020. Yes. Oh, I got the dates and there are receipts of these instances, of these appearances. June 26, 2020. She came back in person. So she is no stranger to the station. She is no stranger to the Morning Machine. She is one of our first guests. But let's talk about the artist from the ATL who is flourishing in this music industry. We know because, yet again, we've got the receipts and the checks are balancing. You see what I'm saying? So, you like what I did there? Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
She has a unique style and rhythm which complements the hip-hop urban community. In addition to her complementary style and rhythm, she is the one, the only Qnova, brings diversity and limitlessness.
Yay.
That's right, which undeniably places her to be that great candidate within several music genres. I mean, she has earned recognition all over. I mean, she's influencing global DJs' requests and spinning records all over the world. And you know what's even better? Not only is she no stranger to the Morning Machine, but she has always been family because our relationship goes way back to pre-Morning Machine days. Sure. Way back. She's been rocking with us for several years, and I just am so elated to welcome back home. That's right, I said welcome back home to the one and only Qnova. Good morning to you, sister.
What's going on? How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal. It's been a long time. You said I slimmed down a little bit.
You did, a lot.
And y'all heard it on the radio. She said I'm slimming down. Your boy making it happen. No capping around here. No cap at all. And you know, it's so interesting because you have been here so many times, and I say so many times, meaning just on the Morning Machine alone. But like I said, we go way back. But as I always like to start off, when we talk about the way back, I like to take it back to the old school and take it to Union Square. So for everybody who's new listening in that may not know the history behind Qnova, when was that light bulb moment that said, you know what? I'm going to go out here and do my own music and I'm going to do it well.
Yeah. That moment was, man, I would actually say 3+ to 4 years. I've been always loving music and love doing music, you know what I'm saying, for a long time. But that light bulb just went up when I was like, man, I can do this. I want to do this. Mm-hmm. I am doing this. So let's do it.
Absolutely. And you've been doing it. Yeah. But, you know, even still going back to the old school, the Union Square, part of Union Square has to ask the question the listeners want to know. How in the world did you come up with Qnova? Talk to me.
Qnova. Q is a pretty letter. I love the letter Q. It's so feminine to me. So like Q from my biological name, which is Quachavius. Quachavius. My mama gave me that name, y'all. 11 letters. But anyway, back to how I got the name. Q from Quachavius, and Nova, that's the brightest star in the galaxy. So you put that together, what you get?
You.
Right.
That's exactly what it means. You.
Right, me.
All them 11 letters in the Nova part only come boil down to 3. You. Y-O-U. And that's what you are doing. You have been the brightest star along this music journey. And I want to ask, during this music journey, what has it been like to get through trials and tribulations and just the challenges of being a music artist? Because you're not new to this music industry, but when you were new to the music industry, what were some things that you wish you could have known then that you know now that you would have, if you could tell your past self in the beginning of your music journey, what would you tell yourself at the beginning of your music journey?
Just to promote myself and invest more in myself. You can't just make some music and make tracks and just do nothing with them when you want to, get yourself out there. So you have to work and do everything that it takes to get yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a good team behind you, and just be, dedicated to what you're doing. And I would have just told myself, promote yourself, invest in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Treat yourself like a brand, like any other brand. And, you know what I'm saying? Stand behind what I do.
It's interesting. Stand behind what you do, and you definitely have to stand on it and believe in it. And who were the first people to really believe in you and go hard for you when you didn't even know how much of a Nova star you were going to be that you are right now?
Well, I had a mixture. I had some family here and there. I had a couple of managers over the past, and until I met my wonderful manager now, Nisha. So she showed me, you know what I'm saying, and she believes in what we got going on and stands behind what she's doing and what I'm doing. I'm a personal producer, Pat Run Beats. We all got that same vision.
Shout out to Pat Run Beats.
Shout out.
Yo, we can't forget that. Yo, Pat Run, what up, though?
Hey.
That's what I'm talking about. I didn't mean to cut in, but I had to go ahead and shout out Pat Ryan Beach. You know what I mean? Because y'all been rocking for a really, really long time. Like, that's a long lasting relationship. And how important has Pat Ryan been to your music career so far? I just gotta ask.
Very important, because whatever I feel like I want to create and come up with, he matches that with the track. So it has to have that match. You got to match. And with it matching, I like the match. So, you know what I'm saying? It just got to be universal, you know what I'm saying? Work together. And that's what it does. The music, the tracks, myself, I got to be able to vibe with what I'm listening to. So he's been producing, just what I want and just what I need.
Absolutely. And, a lot of that fusing the energies together really creates that, you get where I'm about to go here. That supernova of stars, and it really it's a whole burst of energy that comes onto the scene. So I do want to ask this from just a independent artist standpoint as a whole. How important is that energy that needs to happen between the producer and the artist? Like, when that fuses together, because you can't just pick any producer. You have to be able to select a producer who's going to be in alignment with your vibe. And that's what you've consistently done. And the level of work shows, the response from the people shows. So why is that important the most to an independent artist, especially in this day and age of streaming and all the other technologies that are out there pertaining to music?
It's important. I mean, it's everything. It's very important for you to be able to vibe and, see what I see. Understand how I understand music. Being an artist that I am, I'm not like every other artist. You know what I'm saying? How can you make something that fits with what I got going on and how I'm trying to interpret what I want to say and how I'm trying to interpret what I'm trying to get across to people? So that music got to match that vibe and that energy, because if it don't, I'm not going to be able to ride the track like I want. And I won't be able to ride it until I get it how I want. And I don't have to say, anything or too much to him because he already knows my style. So,
You know, it's interesting that you say that because even in your artistry, that also requires being a songwriter as well. You don't just perform it, you write it
That's right.
first. So I do want to ask this. I noticed that a lot of independent artists deal with it. Even the larger artists, we just don't know about it behind the scenes. Writer's block. It doesn't just happen to screenwriters and authors and what have you. Writer's block can also happen to a music artist as well who's trying to get the chorus line down or something as a part of that song. Have you ever had to deal with that in your along your journey? And if you did, what ways did you overcome it?
Yeah, I probably have writer's block here and there. Because I have so many. It's because, okay, first of all, I'm a Gemini. So I like to sometimes, stuff a lot in something. So I have to think about, hey, spread it out a little bit. You don't have to do it all at one time. Use this here, use that there. So, I just try to come up with the main idea of what I want and what I'm trying to get across to people first. And then I spread everything else out. You know what I'm saying? Try to get creative, okay? It's just like writing a paragraph. If you know how to write I went to college as well. I got my, my bachelor's degree. So I wrote a lot of papers. And I've learned how to stretch one thing out to make a whole college paper, So, for example, if I want to talk about my shoes, if I have if my mind is clogged up, okay, what I want to say about these shoes? Okay, I want to say about the colors. All right, now I'm gonna switch it to the style of it and how it's different from everybody else. All right, now I want to switch to how comfortable it is. All right, so now I'm gonna switch to how thick the sole is. So I want to be able to hit a whole lot of different points. So I try to get out of writer block. I try to just try to be creative in more than one ways about what it is that I'm trying to, get over to the people, to the listeners.
There's also another thing that I want to touch on, and that's stage fright. First question, which will be, and the second one will be a follow-up. The first question is, what was it like? What was the feeling like for you the first time you went on stage and performed in front of a crowd of people?
Oh, I was amped. I was very amped up. I was like, I'm about to really go do this, about to get in front of all these people. Everybody is watching me, and I'm not going to even lie to you right now. And some people won't believe it if I told them. I'm still, shy and get stage fright. However, you're not going to know. I'm not going to show it. I'm going to put on, Qnova in a game and know that, know who you are. And I know who I am. That's what I tell myself. Why are you afraid? Not afraid, but, kind of shy. Get out of that. You know what I'm saying? Go out there. The people going to love you. You have your own style, your own sound. You're not like the rest of them. They're going to watch. And every festival that I do, even if those people are all the way down the other side of the park or wherever, everybody's turning around because I do have my own style. And, it's a blessing to have my own sound, that pulls people to want to listen to what I'm saying.
So now here's the other question. So when if you've ever had stage fright in the time, what were some key points or key things that you did to just kind of revert it and really get deep into your element? Because a lot of independent artists, they may have the craft in the studio, they may have the craft on video or what have you, but in front of a crowd of people, oh my goodness, we are petrified. We freeze on stage. Even in a speaking engagement, the best of the best speaker can also have the butterflies as well. So how do you get over that particular ordeal?
I say to myself, and I must say to myself, these are people just like me. They are people just like me. Why are you afraid? You out here, this is what you want to do, so this is what you need to do. So I just tell myself over and over, these are people just like you. They're gonna like me or they're not gonna like you. It's just that simple. But for the time being, go out there, give a show, and do what you gotta do.
Absolutely, that is phenomenal, phenomenal insight to that, and
Oh
I
yeah.
definitely appreciate that because a lot of our uh, independent artists out there, sometimes they just don't know where to start, and I'll ask that part of it later. But let's jump into the music for a
Okay.
second because last time you were here was a long time ago. It was time to run it up.
Run
Time
it
to run
up
it up.
with that checkup.
Run it up, run it up, run it up.
Run it up.
That's what I'm talking about. And you had run it up, but since that journey in 2020, what projects have you taken on since then that really have taken a new elevation to Qnova?
Just trying to be positive, so I did do another track, for the station, for all the listeners. It's called Talk Your Talk, Sis.
Yes.
That's the clean version. So
Oh
if
yeah,
you
definitely
search
got to be radio edit.
right.
She know what goes
Oh
on
yeah.
around here.
So if you search the dirty version, that's on you. You know what. But
Raw.
yeah, talk your talk, sis. Pretty much motivating. That changed me a lot because instead of talking about all this other, negative stuff that's going on or putting men down or putting other women down, I wasn't on that when I made this track. I don't want to be on that when I make any track. I want to just be chilled and relax and give something that people can relate to. So Talk Your Talk, Sis is one of the projects that, I not too long ago released. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Now we're gonna hear Talk Your Talk, Sis in just a few minutes.
okay.
But I have to ask because you've performed in so many popular festivals such as Juneteenth and Sweet Auburn, and I want to ask you this because I know we talked about stage fright, but there's the other part of it where it's so rewarding that you are now performing at these festivals like on a yearly basis, on an annual basis, and based on that
Yeah.
growth that you've had over the last few years, talk about these experiences and being put on the big stage
Yeah.
at these festivals. The big stage, not the little one. There's always a big stage.
main
around.
stage.
The main stage. And and to just have your name associated with these particular festivals to where they are rocking with you heavy every single year. But it took a lot of work.
It did.
So talk about the work behind it to where you got really involved with these particular festivals because they're nothing to sneeze at. Those are big time festivals and you're there consistently. So talk about it.
Well, my team, my manager, personal producer, rest of us, myself, we get out there and get hands on and build relationships. And they see that okay, she works. She's not just she don't just have her hands out. They don't just have their hands out. They'll work for it. They want this, but they're humble at the same time. So I go out and all of us we go out and build great relationships with people that they just remember what's going on. I go out there and I put on a good show, one that you won't forget. I probably have a band with me, a drummer, guitarist, and plus I'm rocking it out. So it's something that they remember. It's like, oh yeah, Qnova, we want you back. They'll even call back. Like for example, Sweet Auburn, they called me back the next day and was like, hey Qnova,
Jeez, next day.
the next day.
Sheesh.
Hey, can you come back out here and perform for us? And it was on Mother's Day. And I said, yeah, I sure did. I went out and I performed for them. So, just building relationships and, keeping your face card good and just being genuine and being yourself, people gonna gravitate to you.
Absolutely. And so, halftime. Yeah,
yeah.
I heard about some halftime
Which one?
performances. I said it's performances,
Right.
plural.
Okay.
So let's keep it real.
Okay.
Keep it a whole bean, keep it funky with everybody on these airwaves.
Keep it solid.
All the way solid.
Okay.
Not every artist in town, across the country, across the world gets to perform at halftime of any sporting event.
Yeah.
What is the feeling like for you to have done it so many times consistently these days?
Man.
Because that is such an honor. That gives you the utmost respect as an artist. They know that you are a
Validation.
quality artist. You know, you already had it in your mind that you already were going to be there. It was already destined for you to be there, and not only were you there and are there, but you've done it several times already. But not everybody can say that as an independent artist. So what are some things, some tips that you could give to the independent artists out there from your standpoint in the best way possible about how they can elevate their craft and be able to possibly say the same thing at least once in their career?
You just gotta work. And it has to be quality. Your music has to be like no other. People have to see you for you. It can't just be like, oh, you sound like them. Oh, they talking about the same stuff. No, with me, I stand out, and I demand for myself to stand out, and that's what I want to do. I want to stand out for the rest, so people will remember that. So the only thing they need to do, go out there and work. Work for yourself. Be hands on. Stop trying to think that everybody that on your team, they're supposed to do all the work. You go out and build relationships too. Work, post content. Have an awesome show. If you saying you got a show, have a show there. Put on a show. What can you do to entertain the people? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna stand up there, or you're gonna walk around, or you're gonna be into what you're saying. Have meaning behind what you're saying. Produce quality lyrics. And I'm gonna stop right there. Produce quality lyrics. Quality lyrics. Yeah. It needs to stand for something.
That's what I'm talking about. If she could drop the mic, she could, but it's too much to try to readjust. So we'll do that later. But in the meantime, so you're on a plethora of major music platforms right now. And I'm sure it probably take all day long. It probably take another 30 minutes of this interview to name them all. However, I'm sure there were some challenges along the way in getting to these platforms. So what was the major challenge in getting to all of these platforms, the major platforms that a lot of independent artists are not on currently, but they're working to get there? What is the major challenge, and how long does it take to get on these platforms? It's a lot of work, as you just explained.
It's just being knowledgeable. You have to learn the business side too. You can't just go out there and be an artist. You got to know the business side and what to go to, what to go through to get your music on here and there and here, whatever. So you need to know the business side as well to put your music on out there to whatever platform. And you got to know what you want to do. You have to know why are you doing the music? What are you trying to reach? What are you trying to do? Because not everybody is making music to do the same thing. Some people may make music just for concerts only. Some people may make music just to be in the background. Some people write music. So you need to know what platform and what's your purpose of you doing your music to know where you want to put your music at.
You know what? That's definitely sound advice, and we really appreciate you giving these gems of wisdom this morning, because a lot of independent artists out here, especially the ones that, and I'll shout out our Saturday show, Realm, from 4 to 6 p.m. There's a plethora of independent artists there that, need to know those keys, and they'll be able to, at least once in their journey, say, hey, I did this, and Qnova was able to give me the gems to say, I can do this. You see what I'm saying? And that's the one thing that we pride ourselves on here at this station, is being able to make impact by giving the advice or some key tools to be able to give somebody to be able to make them better. And, we're all getting better at being better, right?
Right.
And that's what we wake up for and strive for every single day. But that doesn't take away from someone applying the concepts that you have given here today. And even if they replayed it, they're still getting the gems that they can listen to over and over and over again to make themselves better as an artist. So we really appreciate your wisdom this morning. But final question as we wind it down here.
Okay.
What is it that makes Qnova different?
What makes me different is me. Just the whole Qnova. Okay, so look.
Well, I mean.
Okay, well, I like to actually have a story in my music. I like to my story. I'm a more of a storyteller. You know, even if it's something that, even if I want to, no matter what type of music I'm making, it's going to be some type of moral. You're going to understand that it's something that you're supposed to get out of that. So basically my story as well. Me telling the stories and my stories to how I got here now. And, you know, I have my own, hands down, you know what I'm saying? I do believe, you know, I have my own style and rhythm and sound. So all that stuff on top of that, and plus with my story and my storytelling in my lyrics, that what makes me different. You hear the hunger in my music. You hear this is what I love and this is what I enjoy. You're gonna feel my lyrics. You're gonna feel the breath that I take in my word. You know, in my lyrics, the words that I say. You're gonna know that I mean whatever it is that I'm talking about. You're gonna feel it because my energy is off the top. So what makes me different, you know, overall is my energy. You know, you're going to feel without even seeing me. You're going to hear my music and you're going to feel it.
You know what? Feel it we will, because we're about to hear the single in just a moment.
Okay.
But shout out to the source. I see the article right in front of me about the single. It's just absolutely amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to the source. And, you know, not yet again. Not every artist can say that they have been in the Source magazine, one of the top magazines, if not the top magazine in hip hop culture. I mean, that when you first saw this article, did you run around the crib and run around the outside or something like that? Because I mean, you as an independent artist, you continue to make groundbreaking history and you continue to elevate your craft. And you know, we known each other for a long time. I know this is what you do, but for the listening audience, what was that like to be in the Source magazine? Because that's the top-notch magazine. Hip-hop culture knows this magazine, and you're in it. So what was that experience like? Did you run around the house? You know, it was like, I'm here. Your mama.
I was just,
you know what I mean?
I was just full of joy inside. You know, I was so bubbly because, you know.
As well you should be.
Man, I was doing and still is doing things that, you know, most artists, you know, can't, or, you know, maybe don't know how to do or whatever. And that goes because, you know, I have a great team behind me. And even before I got, you know, let's say, you know, no blue check. You know what I'm saying? Like on social media or whatever. I don't have that on all of my social medias, but I've still hit major, you know, places and met major folks and done major things that you'll be like, oh, wow. You know, so I am out there, you know.
It's so interesting because I'm today years old finding out that you actually put us in the article too.
Oh, yeah.
Mama, we made the sauce.
Yeah. You are.
Mama, we made the sauce.
You just found out?
Yes, today years
late.
old during this interview, I'm seeing that we are a part of this Source magazine.
You are.
Mama, we made it. You know what I'm saying? But seriously though, still, I mean, just to be in an iconic magazine such as the Source, you know, is everything hip-hop culture. And the fact that I guess now we can say we are a part of it at this point, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like it was just absolutely amazing to see. And you've got a lot of stuff on your website in the news section. You've got everything here on Qnova.website.
Oh yeah.
Yes, once again, Qnova.website.com. You want to get there and see what I see. Do you see what I see? Yes, exactly. That you need to get there and do that. But so I think we've got enough anticipation.
Okay.
And now that I know the real the real song title, but we're gonna say it for radio purposes today. Talk your talk, sis.
Talk your talk, sis.
But the development of that single. So how did that all come together, and when was the light bulb moment that said, "Look, I think it's time for me to talk my talk"?
Oh yeah. That song, it means a lot. You know what I'm saying? Just like if you out there taking care of your kids, you just open that business, you finish college, you're in college, or you're just overcoming, something that you've been wanting to do or stop, for so many years, and you finally done it. All of that, whatever accomplishment, whatever makes you feel good, whatever is positive. I'm gonna say positive. Because bad stuff can make you feel good. So I'm going to say positive. Whatever.
Wait a minute.
Yes, the positivity.
Just caught on to that. Go ahead.
Talk your talk, sis. You did it. And you deserve to talk your talk because you work for it. You deserve it. So talk your talk, sis.
Absolutely.
Share with the world. Talk your talk.
Absolutely. And so, with that, we're about to hear it in just a second. I mean, without further ado, we're going to get to it. But before that, I want to say thank you so much for coming back home to the Morning Machine, coming back home to the 102.6 The Situation. You're going to be around a lot more often. And by the way, shout out to Nisha, who is sitting here kindly. She never wants to go on the mic. I'll never bring her to the mic because I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke. She just going to smile right now.
Smoke is free.
Smile and take video. That's how she do it.
Okay.
She like to be behind the scenes. But I do want to shout her out because she's doing a phenomenal, fantastic job in making sure you continue to be the supernova, super Qnova that you are.
Oh,
and you ever thought of naming that in maybe a future album, maybe a future project?
A lot of people,
Super Qnova,
a lot of
like
people
that?
been saying that before. I got that before in the past, and I probably just do it. Yeah.
Or you could have called it Cupernova or something like that.
And I did use like on Instagram, my own hashtag is Qnova Kane. Get it? Novocaine. Qnovocaine.
Oh, that's good. I didn't think of that one. That's good. That's good. Okay. All right. But before we go, what's next coming up for Qnova?
Man, I'm about to get ready, and I want to do a small EP. And I say small because I don't like to drop too many tracks. I like to drop a track and focus on it and get the right push behind it, get the right audience behind it, and just push it. So I want to drop a small EP, and just baby it, meaning just feed it to the people that's really digging Qnova.
Absolutely, as well they should. And everybody that's new listening all around the world is going to become a major fan of Qnova. So don't be surprised if you start getting these inboxes of all kinds of other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because they rocking with Qnova. We've been rocking with Qnova, but y'all need to get with the program because y'all new listeners.
Yes.
So, when you hear Talk Your Talk, sis.
Talk your talk.
Talk your talk. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So there we have it. But in the meantime, before we play the song, tell everybody where we can follow you, connect, most importantly, stream your music.
Yes. Okay, so follow me on Instagram, which is Qnova, Qnov as in Victor, A.artist. on there, I got all my other links to my other social medias. I got my website. I got other things that you need to know if you want to know more about me, which I know you will. So just go to Instagram, Qnova.artist. Follow me on there, and from there you'll find out everything else about me. Okay, that'll link you out to everything else. I even have a website on there where it can tell you all a lot of other different streaming platforms. But basically, my music is streaming everywhere.
Absolutely. And everywhere you will find Qnova.
Nova.
So, with that said, once again, thank you so much for being on the Morning Machine this morning. Great to be back home. Great to see you.
Thank you.
And you are continuing to elevate even further. And
Thank you.
just continue to be amazing and be the amazing artist and person that you are.
I
Continue to
appreciate it.
elevate, sister. All right.
All right.
So, with that, once again, for the Morning Machine listeners out there in radio land, this is the exclusive Q Nova. Talk yo talk,
Talk,
sis.
sis.
Let's go. It's the Morning Machine.